Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Brown and this is my video presentation for this class. The topic that I decided to talk about was the Apple versus Epic Games court case and the questions and ethical quandaries that were asked by the trial. Um, you know, it's a pretty big case because it deals with Apple's App Store and how much of a cut they take. Um, so I'm going to give some backstories on the company. I don't know if many people know about Epic Games or even know about this court case. It doesn't matter. Um, well, Apple is Apple is Apple. Um, if you don't know who Apple is, well, I think that might be a bigger discussion than the scope of this class. But anyways, Epic Games is a video company that created the massively popular and free, emphasis on free, the game Fortnite. Fortnite is an online battle royale game that millions of people play each and every day. And I'm sure you're wondering, how do they make money on a free game? Well, they make most of their money through microtransactions, which entails cosmetic items, unique event items, all of that stuff. You could play the game without buying a single thing, but most people will purchase cosmetic items because some of them are cool. Over the first 2 years of Fortnite, Epic Games made over $9 billion in just 2 years. Now, Epic is worth just short of $30 billion. Apple, on the other hand, is worth a whopping $2 trillion. So why would a company as small as Epic Games take on one of the, if not the, most powerful company in the world to court? Why would they do that? Well, Apple has their App Store, and as part of that App Store, Apple takes a 30% cut off of each and every transaction made on an app. Well, some might call that steep. I do not. I think that's fine. But anyways, Epic decided to go around Apple's policy and made it to where every time an in-game item was purchased on the mobile platform, it went directly to Epic Games. Obviously, that goes against Apple's terms and policies, and so Apple decided to take Fortnite off the mobile app store, and obviously Epic wasn't happy about that, so they took them to court. Now, the important thing to know is Fortnite is a free game. Its mobile version is free, but its mobile version is not the largest user base. Every major console is able to download and play Fortnite. PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, even Google Stadia. You could play Fortnite wherever. It's the microtransactions that's the biggest case. Now, there are multiple layers to this and multiple questions that can be asked by this. The first one that I want to talk about is, does Apple have the right to take 30% of the money earned by an app, no matter how big or small that app is? Is it ethical? I'm going to say yes, because the App Store, specifically Apple's, is kind of like a proving ground of apps. If an app can make it on the Apple App Store, it has a chance to be successful. They have that right to take 30% and be able to make the App Store better. At the end of the day, I don't know how much Apple puts of that 30% back into the App Store, but even if they put a small percentage back into the App Store, that's still a lot of money. And at the end of the day, software engineers and software developers, software companies, all of that, they have an obligation to make good products. And in my opinion, now I'll admit I am an Apple fanboy. I have an iPhone, have an Apple TV, have an Apple Watch, AirPods. I am an Apple fanboy. But that doesn't matter in this case because, in my opinion, the App Store is one of the best creations that Apple has come out with. And in order to make it successful and continue to maintain that successfulness, you have to put money into it. So I don't think Apple taking 30% off the top is that bad of a deal. Now, when you're a small company, obviously that's a lot of money. You know, that's a good deal of money. But when you are an established company, such as Epic Games, for instance, they don't need to rely on just one platform. And so the fact that Epic Games was trying to circumvent Apple's policies to make more money, to me that's the unethical aspect of this case. It's because Epic Games was already making billions of dollars off of one single game. They didn't need the extra tens of millions of dollars from the App Store. In my opinion, Epic Games became greedy. They wanted the money that would have been earned from the App Store to go directly to them, and that to me is not how things should be. Okay. Every major tech company or any company has terms and policies. And in order to use whatever platform that company offers, you have to understand and accept the terms and policies. In Apple's case, that term and policy was they take 30%. To me, that's reasonable. It's not like they're taking 50% or they're taking 70%. They're taking only 30% at the end of the day, right? And smaller companies would probably struggle with that, but there have been countless number of companies that were formed and created out of putting an app on Apple's App Store. It's kind of it's the new gold rush, if you will. And so I think it's understandable to have that 30% cut. To me, another ethical question would be: Is Epic Games, should Epic Games should they have circumvented the 30% cut? And to me, that's a no. It doesn't seem fair that they could do it, but nobody else could, or that they were only making billions of dollars, so they wanted to add a couple more million to their revenue. Especially with a game that's free. If this was a game that you had to pay to buy, I could probably understand that. Probably not, but it's one of those, the chances of knowing that are slim. When millions and millions of people rely on apps each and every day, Apple has to be able to maintain the App Store, keep it at such a high level that it's at. In order to maintain the integrity, the usefulness, and the overall quality, Apple can't just not make money from the App Store. It's not feasible. 30% is a lot of money, but when most apps are free, Apple's relying on ad revenue, transactions within the app, or like in video games case, it's microtransactions, cosmetics. Apple relies on that, even though most of the apps are free. Um, you know, the outcome of this case, in my opinion, was somewhat of a wash because neither side won, neither side lost. You know, uh, according to the ruling, the judge concluded that Apple wasn't unfairly monopolizing the mobile app space with iOS or its in-app purchasing system. And the judge ordered Epic to pay damages for violating its developer agreement with Fortnite. So, the term monopolizing is an interesting way of talking about the App Store because it's not the only App Store, right? Android is by far and away the largest mobile operating system. And so the fact that people think Apple is monopolizing an App Store, to me, is just it's kind of ridiculous because most users use the Google Play Store, right? And so, in my opinion, Apple isn't really a monopoly in that regard. They might be a monopoly in other areas, but I feel like Apple, yes, they are a large company. Yes, they are worth a crap ton of money, but I don't feel like they are a monopoly. I really don't. I feel like they make good products, and people are upset because they make such good products. But back to this specific case, ultimately, I think Epic Games was trying to be the company that stood for all the small companies. And to me, that's an interesting way to look at it because Epic is not a small company. They are in terms of compared to Apple, but they make billions of dollars off of a single game, and then off of their own app store for games. They make a lot of money, and the fact that they were going after Apple and Google, for that matter, they were suing both Apple and Google because both Apple and Google took Fortnite off the mobile app stores. To me, it's not an ethical way to look at it because at the end of the day, Epic was just upset because Apple was taking 30% and Google was taking however much Google takes from their app store. So they were losing money even though they were making 70% of the sales of their game. And like I said, mobile is the smallest part of their range or reach of Fortnite. This case is very complicated because most companies wouldn't take on such a powerful company, and I just think Epic was doing it for all the wrong reasons. And at the end of the day, my view is Apple is not in the wrong for taking 30%. To me, that is not unethical. To me, Epic is the one being unethical. And I believe this case has the potential to determine outcomes that may come in the future. I think it's going to be one of those foundational cases. But yeah, to me, Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, these are all the foundation companies, if you will, IBM, in the tech world. And they're going to make money because they make good products. It's not like they put out a product and it's just horrible. There's cases where it's buggy, but it's not horrible. And I think at the end of the day, that's what matters is in order to make good products, you have to have money. And in order to make money, you have to put out money, you know? But yeah, I think Apple, I think Apple's fine with this. I think they're going to be all right. I don't think they're a monopoly. In conclusion, the ethical questions raised by this is essentially, is Apple in the right to take 30% from apps? And I am of the opinion that yes, they are being ethical. Yes, they are in the right. It is their right to take that. It is their product. It is their store. It is, they are the ones that allow customers and companies to use their store. I think them taking 30% off the top is reasonable. And yeah, so thank you for coming to my TED Talk.